Ms. Lorenzo's question was, with regards to, oh, rather than me restating Ms. Lorenzo's question, Ms. Lorenzo, could you please ask the question?
So it's whatever is not necessary in order for the government to make money belongs to the people.
Well, making money is just one of those 17 powers. So whatever's not necessary and proper to carry out any of those 17 powers, which could be one of the powers, for example, is for the United States has the power to create an army and a navy. So what does it need? Well, you need to be able to hire soldiers and buy uniforms and buy weapons and you know, all of those things are necessary and proper for the military function of the United States. So those would be powers that the federal government has. But things that have nothing to do with that are not. And therefore, those powers, and by the way, there's an infinite number of things. For example, marriage has nothing to do with any of those powers. So the federal government does not have the power to marry people. The federal government doesn't have the power for adoption because it's not one of those 17 things. So who has the power? If marriage is not one of those 17 things, Ricky, wait. Ricky, the federal government is not given the power to marry people in one of those 17 powers. So what government has the power to marry people? Thank you, Ricky. I did not know you were a ventriloquist. You are awesome. You can throw your voice right across the room. Okay? Hey, Alexander, I'll ask you another more complicated one. The federal government does not have the power to set traffic speed zones. If the federal government doesn't have the power to set traffic speed zones, who has that power?
The state.
The states do. Okay. Now, the federal government does not have the power to create corporations. Who has the power to create corporations?
States.
Can't be.
That's why it says by the power invested in me by the state of California, you may now kiss the bride.
Okay, all right. And that was a very strange comment. Yes,
No,
that
but
is
no,
recorded.
invested by the state.
Yes, I know.
May I use your
I don't know why
That's
this is
exactly
California.
Wait a second, Alexander. You may.
You could just get a degree.
Yes.
You could just get a degree.
Stop one at a time. Yes.
For real, you could get one of those little thingies online. I have
Okay.
one.
I'll get back to you. Yes.
Do you have tape when my silence broke?
I'm sorry, what?
My silence broke. Do you have tape?
I do, but you can hold on because you can use your finger for now. All right. So the states have these powers. The states have these powers that are not given to the federal government. And the question is, how do the states use that power? How do the states use that power that don't step on each other? Because you got 50 states, and each state has boundaries and borders, and you have people that go from state to state. So how do the states exercise those powers? And the reality of the matter is that the truth is that the states can only exercise their power up to the border. But there is activity that goes beyond. For example, if you are living in the mountains close to California, but not in California, and the water begins to melt and go down, and it's in an aquifer in California, if you stop the water in your state, it's not going to get to California, and it's going to affect people in California. And that's where the federal government has the power to regulate the interaction and the relationship between the states. So the federal government is given the power to regulate the relationship and the interaction that takes place between the states. So in essence, what these people wanted to do is they wanted to limit the federal government to those things that were absolutely necessary for the coexistence, living together that means, the coexistence of the states with each other. Okay? That's in essence the idea of the federal government. It is there to protect the citizens, and it is also there to allow the states to be able to deal with each other. Example, mom and dad. part of their paternal responsibility is to make sure that you, your siblings don't kill each other, right? Ryan? So, when Raul decides to get too wrestling type with you, mom and dad come in and kind of, set the rules.
If you fight, they do that yourself.
Okay, and those are the rules in the Sobrano record. All right, you stop.
Even if